Hey guys, this is Chris, and this is my little piece of the reef. A lot of you have been emailing me and text messaging me about what happened to my tank, what happened to my 125 Marineland tank that I had gotten on Craigslist, and everybody's been asking about when there was going to be a follow-up video and what happened. Well, it's kind of a long and arduous story. The tank stand that I had gotten with it was starting to fail, and because it was starting to fail, we were having problems with the sump, and the sump was on level, and there was a whole issue of support worthiness of the stand. And we were going to have or pick up another 72-inch long tank, and my back room that we had the tank in is being converted to a home office for me to run my business out of. And unfortunately, because of that, a 72-inch long tank was no longer going to fit in the room and make the room usable for what I had planned. I'm going to try to do this whole thing in one take. The past 3 weeks have been an absolute, utter nightmare. I wound up ordering a Red Sea Reefer 525 XL. I know there's a bunch of you guys out there that have used it. I looked at the SCA 120, I looked at the CAD Lights 120, and I had read mixed reviews about all of them, and what it came down to was I have used Red Sea products in the past, and I kind of was like, you know what, I'm going to go with what's kind of worked for me. And because of that, I wound up getting this tank from Fish Tanks Direct. They were an absolute pleasure to do business with, and the tank was at my driveway in 1 week, which is great. I had a bunch of plans for different plumbing, different modifications to the sump, Apex, Neptune, but I decided that what I was going to do is I was going to keep it really, really simple. About half of the rock you see in the tank is white, maybe a third of the tank rock weight is white. That's new rock which has been aging in a bucket for about 3 weeks in my basement. A lot of it is old rock from the 125 or my son's tank, and that was all put in the tank this week. It was kind of a marathon session. We took the old tank down. In the process of taking the old tank down, we decided that the floor needed to be replaced in the room, so we replaced the floor. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a pan of the tank. So in the midst of that, we ordered a Pergo flooring from Home Depot, and my son and I installed the flooring. So then it became painting the wall behind the tank and next to the tank. Then there were some frags that were on order from a place that I had been waiting for, the Frag Farmers Market in Connecticut. So all my livestock basically wound up in a 55-gallon temporary tank in the basement and a 100-gallon Rubbermaid bucket in the living room, which my wife was definitely not quite so happy about, but we did what we needed to do to keep everybody alive and healthy. Over the last several days, though, things didn't look so good in the 100-gallon Rubbermaid container. Yes, there was good biological filtration. Yes, the light was okay, but there was a smell despite running carbon and a protein skimmer and the best filtration you could run in such a situation, and we needed to get everybody into the tank as quickly as possible. I'm proud to say we lost absolutely no livestock during the conversion. Also making the matters a little bit more difficult as well was I had decided to change salt mixes. As many of you know, I had started using the Aquaforest system in my 125, ran into a lot of issues with it, switched over to Triton, and had issues with the Fuge being a detritus basically factory, and then not being able to get Triton supplements anymore. So I scrapped all of that. I'm going to be very simple with this tank. I'm going to do all Red Sea products. I'm going to leave the tank set up the exact way it came from the Red Sea factory right now. No changes to the plumbing. Let's go take a look over here. No changes to the plumbing. No modifications. I'm running a simple Jabo pump. You know, nothing special. No Apex controller. Yeah, I can't really get that. That's a really nice Iron Man Goniopora that my son picked up, and a little Space Invader Pectinia. You know, couldn't quite get everything that I wanted all done at once. My goal was to make sure all the livestock stayed alive. So it was making 139 gallons of brand new water, using 100 pounds of brand new sand from Carib Sea Agri Live. The salt, as I started to say, I changed over from Aquaforest and the other brands that I've used over the years, and I'm using the Red Sea Pro line with the higher alkalinity. My hope is it will help my clam start to grow even bigger. It's probably about 5 inches right now, and that over time it will help my corals grow. I'm going to try to run an alkalinity of about 10 to 11. Right now the alkalinity is hanging in at about 9.6 in the tank for the last couple of days. If we come back around here, I got my 2 max gyres cranking away. You can kind of start to see maybe, let me see if I can focus in on it here, some diatoms maybe starting. Kind of hard to tell. We definitely, as we move towards the center of the tank, have much more pristine white sand. And as we come up onto the newest rock work, I think as we get there, you could start to see definitely some browning, which again I think are just diatoms coming out of the water now from a not fully mature tank. If we look up here at the nozzle, it's kind of hard to pick up. Camera doesn't want to focus. There's definitely looking like some diatoms or some brown algae. This sand, I will say, was absolutely miserable this time. Despite every trick I know to get water to clear, it did not want to clear. And you could probably still see on the back of the tank, despite a couple of days of cleaning it, you see that white film. That's the dust settling out still from the sand. Nothing seems to mind it too much. Right here we have soft coral. Every single polyp is open on it. The Euphilia that I have is open. My trachea kind of got a little lighter in color, being downstairs, not underneath, just underneath LED lights. Back here, you can barely make it out right now, is my Gorgonian from Reef Gen. That's grown up with me over the years and looks great. All its polyps are open. You can't really make out the frag rack right now in the back. My sand sifting goby is making a mess of the tank with a bunch of sand and dust in it. Hopefully that'll go away over the next couple of days. I'm running 100 micron polishing filters on the in the sump. So, all right, just to let everybody know, I'm back. You know, just like CJ says, you learn from your mistakes. If I had it to do all over again, I would have loved to have had the tank set up for a couple of weeks before throwing the fish and the corals back in. Things weren't looking so good in the temporary tanks. Most importantly, we lost no livestock. I'm proud to say I haven't lost a fish, knock on wood, in well over a year. There's my mystery wrasse. We thought we lost him, but he went down into the sand for a day or so. Here he comes. And nobody's any worse for the wear. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks, you guys are going to see a couple more videos get made up. Hopefully the tank will start to look a little more populated. There'll be some more corals going in. I think at this time I'm going to get rid of my adult chevron tang, find a nice home for it, and my purple tang, because I'd like to kind of start over with those guys. They've been very good to me. The tank seems big enough for them, but I really would like to keep them in a 72-inch long tank, something like a 180. I put them up on Facebook, definitely had a lot of people interested. I just think having 3 big tangs in here right now is just not fair to them. They all seem happy, they're all fat, they all get along, but again, now might be the time to get rid of them and go down a little bit. We did drop down in fish number. We got rid of a large Banggai cardinal. He's down in our 55 kind of temporary tank, along with 5 blue chromis. Missed that splash of blue, but you know what? I think if we could keep the bioload low and we get through the next couple of weeks with the cycling, maybe we bring them back up. But anyway, all right, guys, here's your update. Sorry it took so long. I did it all in one take. Have a good day, and hopefully you'll be seeing more videos.